What is the most important currency in the world? Is it the dollar, the pounds, the euro? Perhaps it's none of these. Perhaps it's something that after a long day of work, after we sit down, try to unwind, it is something that is depleted. Not depleted from our pockets, but something that we feel we lack. And that's energy. It is the most important currency. If we take ourselves out of ourselves, if we take ourselves out of our story, out of our heads, and look at life on a more universal scale, from a bird's eye point of view, where obviously the whole point of doing this from time to time is so that we gain realizations, wisdom, insights on life from that scale so that we can bring it back down. And even though there are an infinite amount of realizations to be made, one of the main things that you will notice is that life is essentially a bunch of energy exchange. It is a massive play of energy. It's as though energy is moving from one place to another, and then this place. And this sort of movement, you can see it as though it's a dance taking place on a divine song. Now, to tell you a bit about myself, I find managing my energy quite challenging at times. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you who have full-time jobs, who at the same time try to juggle many things such as the social life, your family, as well as maybe your side hustle or your passion, your creative side, can get quite overwhelming. And you may feel as though energy is depleted and you can't execute the things that truly matter to you at times. And so I had to figure out a way to try and manage this energy. You know, Einstein has this quote, and I will paraphrase, that you can't solve a problem on the same level of consciousness on which it's been created. And so, as mentioned earlier, it is for that reason that I pushed myself outside of myself so that I can maybe bring some wisdom back to apply into my life concerning this energy problem. And hereby I made 3 realizations which I will share with you right now so that maybe you could benefit from this. This has definitely helped me feel more energized. But before we get into these 3 realizations, I will have to share this preface with you, which is essentially that when you are back from work at the end of the day, where you're supposed to be ready to start working on your side hustle, working on your passion that you one day want to grow, if you feel as though you are tired and you don't have the energy for it, even though you may physically feel this is so, it is actually all within the mind. It is all a mindset. So the first realization that I made is that you have more energy than you think you have. But it's really about how much access you have to that energy. And so, what is it that limits the access to that energy? Firstly, we need to believe that we have more before we can realize what it is that is stopping us from accessing that energy. Now, the limitations will come in the form of self-limiting beliefs. For example, you want to achieve a specific goal. You want to be able to write a book within a year or within a month. You may challenge yourself to that extent. Now, a self-limiting belief would be, I can't do that. There's no way I can write a whole book in a month. There's no way I could do this. There's no way I could do that. And so, even if you have the possibility to access more energy than you think you have, that self-limiting belief has already negated that possibility. And so we've got to start by clearing these self-limiting beliefs. We've got to first believe and realize and see that we actually have more energy than we think we have. Think about it this way. As a child, you're bursting in energy. You're running around, you're falling, and you get back up and you run around, and there's this joy and there's a spark in the world and everything is exciting. But as we grow up, that energy seems to slowly diminish. But what else happens as we grow up? We develop more ideals, we develop more thoughts, we develop more belief systems. And surely the depletion of that energy correlates with the introduction of these additional ideas. It should be the other way around. How can a small body be bursting in energy? Right now we are slightly bigger, so surely that energy should be growing with us. Now that we have covered number one, which is realizing that you have more energy than you think, we move on to the realization number two, which is that whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life, whatever your purpose in life is, will require less energy than you have access to. So let's put that into perspective. You are trying to become a bestseller writer, for an example. The energy you need to take, all the energy that you will use every single day to try and get yourself closer to that goal, collectively is a lot less than the energy you have access to, which, according to number one, we may be limited to have access to due to our self-limiting beliefs. Now, if you look at this and you say, I don't think that me wanting to be an astronaut and a bestseller writer and all of this, all of that, if I calculate altogether, there's no way I'll be able to achieve that. That in itself highlights the trap that can be lifted by realizing number one, which is that you already have more energy than you think. And so if you start by believing that you don't already have the energy to achieve what you want, then you are still stuck. And you need to go beyond realization number one. You have more energy than you think. And in addition to that, all it takes for you to kickstart this and to put it into practice is to just start walking the path of your purpose, walking the path of that which you want to achieve, and see how, as you continue to walk it, more and more energy begins to be inspired through you. Now this links to realization number three, which is essentially how to use the energy you have realized. The way you use that energy is to project it and use it up in spaces that are outside of your comfort zone, in spaces that make you feel uncomfortable. Because this is the only time where energy grows, where energy thrives. If you are using energy within your comfort zone, if you are using energy to reach out for that cake that is full of sugar, to get that dopamine hit, your energy will be depleted. If you go ahead and use that energy to watch a Netflix TV series, or whatever indulgence there could potentially be, watch that energy level deplete over time. Because you are setting a constant new standard for how much energy you have access to. So just to rephrase that for you, the amount of energy you have only will continue to increase if you use that to propel yourself into the unknown, into activities that challenge you and put you in an uncomfortable place, that require discipline and willpower to keep you thriving and to push through. So just to recap the three realizations, it is essentially where the first one is to realize that you have more energy than you think you have access to. And by mopping up the self-limiting beliefs, we will then begin to have access to more of this pool of energy. Realization number two is that you should realize that you already have all the energy you need and even more to achieve whatever dream you want to achieve. And if you think you don't, then you are still yet to realization number one. And then number three, that energy needs to constantly be used to propel you into the unknown, because only then can you be allowed to be inspired by new things in life that will allow you to achieve more, that will then need more energy and will expand your limit and standard of how much energy you have. So this, for me, I realized has helped me tremendously. I saw that it's all just in here, in the powerhouse. It is all about mindset, it is all about belief system. And obviously, alongside that, we have to keep our body in check, do your regular exercise, eat healthy. Now, please tell me in the comment section down below, what sort of hacks, mind hacks or biohacks, what do you do to allow yourself to access more energy? What do you do when you are tired and you still have so much to do? You have set yourself so many targets. I'm also on Instagram. I post daily on there and I read all of your DMs. So feel free to DM me and do come by and say hi. I love hearing from you guys. And I will end this by saying thank you so much for watching. The feedback I'm receiving on the videos I've created so far is tremendous. I honestly have no words to describe how it makes me feel. It's you know, it's beyond meaning. It's absolutely amazing to see that, you know, I'm benefiting you guys in some way or form. Thank you so much. It's just making this process so much more enjoyable, and I want to create more videos. Now, if you have any topic in mind, do let me know what you'd like to hear next, and see you next week.